This video will show you how to upgrade smart contracts, a process known as contract versioning. We will use the Casper client and the put deploy command to install a new contract on the testnet and interact with it. We will also use the Casper testing framework to test the new contract version locally before installing it on-chain. This demo relies on the previous videos in this playlist. To follow along, you must have already installed and verified the counter contract. Now let's modify this contract and test the new version. We will add a new entry point called counter decrement, which will decrease the count value by 1. This is how the code looks like for the new version of the contract with the new entry point. And here I have prepared the code that I will uncomment. Note that we have to add the previous entry points as well. I have previously built the counter-defined WASM, so I will rename this to version 1. Now I will build the contract again, and the build process will create a new WASM file for the new version that I have just created. Here we have the tests for the upgraded contract, and this is how we verify locally that the contract code works before we install it on-chain. I have counter-defined v1, which is the first version of the contract. I have built this contract in the previous videos, and I have just renamed it for this video to be counter-defined v1. And in this video, I have created a new version of the WASM. It's counter-defined v2, and I have renamed it as such so that I can run my tests. In the test, I'm using a source to check that I have 2 different contracts created, and I'm also checking that I have the counter decrement function in the second version of the contract. Now that we are confident that the new version of the contract works, let's send it to the network via a put deploy. Once we complete this step, we have essentially upgraded our contract. Let's check the version and package details with the latest state root hash. Notice that the version number has increased. Now let's check the package. Notice that we have a new contract with version 2. And let's check the new contract entry points. We should see the counter decrement entry point now. Let's exercise now the new entry point and check the results. We expect the counter to have decreased. And voila, the new entry point works as expected. In the next video, we will look at different ways to call a version contract.